Welcome back to Angie and Christie Right Now. Today, we're thrilled to welcome to our podcast a USA Today best-selling author whose books blend emotional depth, healing, and swoony escape. A storyteller at heart and a mental health professional by day, our guest brings a rare empathy to her fiction. As a proud Southern girl now living in Houston, she draws inspiration from travel, community, and time with family and friends. As a lifelong romance reader, sneaking peeks at her grandmother's Western love stories, haunting libraries and bookshops, and nursing ideas in cozy coffee shops, our guest writes about love in all forms: romantic, familial, and self-love. Her latest novel, This Side of Beautiful, which released in May 2025, follows fallen pop star Janae Warner in the midst of a daring career comeback when her path collides with Landon Hayes, a disciplined, quietly brilliant guitarist. What follows is a tender, high chemistry, second chance journey about vulnerability, resilience, and learning to be worthy of your own heart. We can't wait to talk craft, self-care, and about the inspiration behind this new love story. We are honored to welcome Tiye to the podcast. Tiye, thank you so much for coming on.
Hello. Oh, we're so excited and we're loving your book.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm actually waving at people. I wave you when I take a picture and I'm like, why am I waving? Anyway.
And speaking of your new book, that book cover, by the way, like beautiful. Yes. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm falling in love with them. Just falling in love with them. Yeah.
Love that.
Thank you.
So with all our authors, the first question that we ask is, so how did you know that you wanted to be a writer?
Oh, that's a good question. How did I know? I've always loved English literature. My grandmother's a librarian, and I think she gave me that love of reading, reading children's story time. I'm sitting at her feet, like with all the other kids, excited. And then of course, sneaking her romance books when I was like 7 or 8, like reading this stuff, like, what is this? But I enjoyed it. And wanting to, I guess, create worlds that I read. So I would like write journals and just whenever I was bothered or upset, it's actually my coping. It's what I used to do when I was a teenager. I would just sit and write in my journal, any ideas, any overwhelming feelings. And then it just became something I wrote, majored in journalism, at least initially, because I wanted to write. So
it's a completely different feeling when you're writing journalism and writing fiction too. It's like
it is a difference. And one of my professors at the time was like, you might need to just write creatively and not just, because he would always get on me about you saying way too much, you're being very flowery. He was like, I just need you to get the facts.
Right.
And I was like, so yeah, it definitely was a difference. I ended up shifting to, psychology in the end because I kept feeling like we were just not meshing. So.
Yeah. Which you can totally feel in your book too, just a snippet. But yeah, I can definitely feel the layers of the personalities of the characters that you write. So when did you start, when did you write your first book? How old were you?
Oh, that's a good question. Actual first book probably didn't happen. This is probably about 15 years ago. I wrote a book and it was a young adult because I'm still to this day, I'm a YA fan to this day. And my initial book is still there. And I said, I'm going to publish it one day. Yes, it was a series about teenagers growing up in New Orleans and who went to an exclusive private school. And just different levels of economic status and just what it means to be a young Black person in New Orleans.
Okay, so it was a contemporary novel?
It was contemporary, yes.
Yeah, and not romance, or did it have a little bit of romance?
It was definitely romance. I was going to have romance. I was going to have romance. I mean, it's going to almost have romance, but it was like, these group of friends and each of them and then, in their love lives, but it was definitely YA because all these, kids were like juniors in high school. So that was and I still have it. And in my head, I'm like, I keep going back to like, I got to get this out one day. Yes.
Yeah. Someday you may be able to go back to it and
Yes,
I think I'd like
oh
to read that.
Yes. I know my readers be like, wait, what is this? One of the characters haven't graduated high school yet? Because most of my characters are late 20s and up. So it's like, what?
And there's a level of spice as well.
It's a lot more spice. But
yes, YA romance spicy. But YA romance has a certain like young love, kind of new
Yes,
love. Like
yes,
it makes you feel all the feels too.
it
So it's
does. It
definitely
does.
it's right up there. So when you finished that book, like, well, first of all, 15 years ago, so were you done college at that point, or were you just
Oh
in?
yeah. Oh my
Okay.
goodness. I was working. I was actually I earned a PhD in everything at that time, and I was in psychology, a whole different field, but that need to write was always there. The need to write something that was fun, that was light, that wasn't dealing with patients and clients and
Yeah.
all those
Mhm, yes.
things. And so I wrote that, and I passed it around to a couple of teenagers, like, what did that I knew that actually I was working with. So I
That's
was like,
great.
I was like, what do y'all think? And they were like, this is good. I like it. And they were really falling in love with the characters. Now I submitted a couple places and got rejected. So then I went back to, I'm not writing again. I'm done.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, it is hard. Like,
It
especially with that first
is.
book when you start, yeah. So did you research how to start submitting to places? Like with a query letter, and did you learn how to do that? And
I did. I did research it, but I still think I researched wrong. I felt like I did something wrong because I think about when I write, when I'm gonna be honest with y'all, sometimes I don't pay attention to the details sometimes. And I felt like I probably forgot that one little thing that made them disregard my manuscript because I know they received so many. So the minute you make one little mistake, they're like, discard, discard.
Mhm.
So back then, that's what I thought. And I gave it up for a while until 2016. And I was just like for fun, got on Wattpad and was like, just get on Wattpad and just write some romance. And I had so many people who followed me and were like, you really should publish this. And I'm all like, nah, I'm just doing it for fun. I don't get caught up I don't want to be rejected again. Let me just
Right,
say
right, right.
that. I'll
Yep.
just do this for fun. I'm just gonna do this for fun. And I just kept doing it that way. And just kept, building a small following. And then I said, well, at least let me get one of my stories edited professionally and just see.
Mhm.
And when I did that, it was an editor who was like, oh, I know this small imprint that I think she would like your stuff. And I was like, really? Okay. And I actually at the time submitted to 3 different people, even though my editor told me about one person, but that sparked me into looking to other places to submit. And at that time, all 3 said yes. Yes. So of course it was a good feeling.
Yes.
But the other 2 had all these like stipulations and different things. I was just like, it just felt overwhelming. And she was like, hey, I'm also a romance writer who helps other romance writers. And she just had this easygoing style. So I was like, you are the person that I'll go. It flowed with my flow because I was just like, I don't deal well when it's like, I just don't. And that was her very laid back style. And so we got started, and my first book dropped to 2019,
Nice.
March 2019.
So you didn't go with finding an agent first and then submitting. So you submitted directly to publishers. So the 3 other 2 were also publishers.
Yes, yes.
I
I
like
did
that.
not submit to an agent. I'm looking for an agent now. I had an agent for a little while, but she went into bigger and better things. So now I'm looking for another agent. But at that time, I was just like, I just want to write. I kept going back to, at the end of the day, I just want to write. And it was, readers who kept encouraging me to do more with my writing. Because again, I would write for free. I would be up all hours of the night writing for free. And of course, my friends were like, you can actually make money off this. You know that, right? You
Let's
doing
make
it for
it
free.
hard.
They're like, you spending hours on this. I'll be on vacation on my computer, like, they're like,
That's your vacation.
Right.
yes, that's
Or-
my vacation, righty. They're looking at me like, are you serious right now? Why's your laptop? I was like, I just got inspired. So I have to
But it
write.
is really healing, especially if you
Yeah.
have a really high stress
Yes.
job, and
Yep.
yeah, it's something to escape with. Yeah.
It is definitely an escape. It has been my coping mechanism most of my life, even more so over the last few years, just because of, with COVID and everything like
Oh, yeah.
that. It is an escape for me. And I've been very blessed that I've met some very good people, good
Mm.
mentors, good people in this, writing world, in this indie/trad world that I didn't know existed till I got into it.
Love
Just
that.
crazy,
Love
crazy. I
that.
wish I was a reader at this time more than a writer. Because if I was a reader right now, it was just, I used to read a book a day. No
Mhm.
time to do any of that now.
Mhm.
But with all the different authors and different genres, it's amazing time to be a reader.
It
Mhm.
That's how
truly is.
Yeah.
If you watch book talk, like if you scroll book talk for like 5 minutes, you come out with a list of like
My
25
God.
books that you want to read. It's
Yes.
incredible.
Oh my God. Like I used to be insulted when people who said they were readers of mine would say, I'm gonna get you a book eventually. I'm gonna get to it. I'm like, what? Like what? But then when I really started looking at all the choices, then I started feeling like, hey, if they ever get to my book, I am blessed.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's just so it's so many choices. And I love the fact that I think reading is starting to be a thing again after it kind of disappeared for a while. So
Right.
I think there's a boom now, and it's exciting because my favorite place to be is in a bookstore, like in a library. So just soaking in all of that is like my favorite.
I know it feels like you don't have enough time sometimes. Like
You
there's so
don't.
much to choose from, and life is just so chaotic. Sometimes you just don't have a chance to just sit, breathe, be yourself, and just read a book. And sometimes I used to be a big reader as well, and I kind of miss that. Yeah, I need to do
It
more.
is. It is.
That's when I discovered audiobooks, though I have to tell you, I read much more now because of audiobooks than I would otherwise. Like you're taking a walk with the dog or a long car ride, pop that in. Because otherwise, I agree, I would never have time to between the podcast and writing, and it's totally worth it.
It's no, and it's I'm a visual person for a long time. It was hard for me to get into audiobooks
Hmm.
until I kept getting stuck in Houston traffic for like an hour or
Ah.
so. Then I was like, you know what? And then I wouldn't want to get out the car. After being stuck in the traffic for an hour,
Yes,
now I'm like sitting in the driveway, like I gotta hit this part first.
that's
I got
right.
this part first.
Now you're
I
looking for the
haven't even
longest
really
way
tried
road.
it.
Yeah,
Now I'm
no,
looking
you're
exactly. I'm looking for the longest way home because I want this
that's
to
right.
savor. Because I know once I get in, I got to shut it off. So
Exactly. I've been known to sit in the driveway for the last 10 minutes of the book because like shh, everybody just like I just
yes,
finished
I got
this.
to finish it. I got to
That's
finish it.
right.
So you guys
And
are
it is.
making a case for audiobooks right
You
now.
know it
Oh
is
yeah.
because I didn't. I mean, honestly, I'm a visual person, so sometimes audio I miss things and I want to be able to see it. But honestly, when I kept getting stuck in traffic, I said I got to find a better use of my time than being aggravated and wanting to curse people out left and right. So
Oh
it's like
no.
listening to that just it puts me. I don't care how long the ride takes now. I'm just like,
I know
like
it's so good.
especially if the story is so engaging, the voices are
Absolutely.
or reading the
Narrators know.
character so I can visualize it. Yeah, I am a fan of audiobooks now. When I used to be like, I can say I'm a fan now.
No, I agree with you. It's totally relaxing, and a good narrator is worth everything.
It
But
is.
It's probably what it
Or
is.
he or
You have to
she
have the
is.
right person.
oh yeah.
You do have to have the right narrator. That's always been a fear of mine when they started narrating my books. And I'm so grateful that at least so far I have liked every book that has been
Love
any all
that.
my books that have been narrated. I've
So
been pleasantly because I've heard people say, "Oh, I didn't really like how," and I was like, "Oh my God, please!" Because these are my words. But everybody has been so good. The
oh,
narrators. I'm hoping it continues. The trend continues.
nice.
So do you get to choose, or do they choose for you, like who gets to read
I,
it?
I have been very fortunate. Keisha Menifee of Honey Blossom Press used to be like when I say manager in terms of helping me with my career, and she was one of the first people to connect me to audiobook world. And she was like, just ask. Like I think if I had done it on my own, I probably wouldn't thought I would have any power. So she would say, just suggest. They might ignore you and go whoever they want to go with, but at least you suggested. At least, so I would listen to different voices and like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I want to say, for the most part, they've gone along with my suggestions. And when they haven't, it was close enough to what I'd already suggested that I was like, oh, this works, this works.
Nice.
So I definitely think that her advice was very helpful because when I've talked to other authors, they just give me whatever, and I just kind of take it, and I'm like, just suggest. They can say no,
Yeah.
or
At
they
least
can
you
actually use
try.
it.
Right. And there's
Mm-hmm.
nobody like the author to know the voice of the character. So you would think that they would try to take your
You think
suggestion,
they would try,
right? They,
but they're going by business. They're like, hey, it's timeline. Who can mix this time? Who's reasonable? Their
yeah,
rates. It's all kind of variables. I'm sure that's in place that I don't even think about. And of course, as an author, all you care about is my voice being,
exactly.
yes, deciphered and decoded and
That's
spoken
right.
in a way that I want it to be. Yeah.
Mhm.
The artistic versus the business end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So
The
how do
hard
you
part.
find time to like write? Because like you have to have a busy life. So like
I do.
how's the
Huh.
time? How
I'm be honest with y'all. This particular summer has been a very hard one. It's been a lot because I do. I'm also a assistant professor at a university
oh my gosh.
and still a psychologist, and I write. And I'm a mom, so it's a lot of. It is a lot, and I was like, I got to change some things up. It's been some good things that happened, that I said yes to that I probably should have said yes to just because of my schedule. But I was just like, I was excited. So I will say the things that are happening are good things, but it also gave me deadlines that I'm like, oh my God, now I have to meet these deadlines. And it is that balance. I would love to be a full-time writer on one hand, but on the other hand, I actually like what I do as a mental health professional. So it's like, I would like to have, I guess, the power, if you will, to say, I'm just going to write. As opposed to I'm trying to juggle both hats as a mental health professional and a professor and a writer. I will say, come the fall, that is my goal. Next year, I've like already got a plan. Like I'm not doing this again. I was like, not driving myself crazy again. Because I want my writing to always be my coping. I never wanted to be where I feel burdened by it, or I don't want to do it. I never want to get to the point where I'm like, I don't want to write. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So, and I was starting to feel that way. So I was like, okay.
It's good that you recognized that before it got to the point where you couldn't write it, where it was hard and it became a job and it's not fun anymore. And that's just a horrible feeling. Yeah.
And I will say my sister helped me on that because she likes to write too. And she could hear it in my voice. She's like, but you love writing. So what are you saying? You don't want to write anymore? And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, no, you do want to write. It's everything is involved with it that isn't, that has bogged you down. So now it's about what can you do to clear that path so that you love writing. You wrote for free for years. So she was like, so that means that you love it. The passion is there. So don't let the money being added to the picture change how you view writing.
But it's hard to do. Do you have any tips? Like, is there one thing that you've changed that you think like would be a good tip for our listeners?
Be realistic about your schedule and what's important for you.
Nice.
I think at least for me, you're afraid of missing out on an opportunity. So you might say yes, but there's power in just asking.
Nice. That's very powerful right there. It's so true because I feel like maybe I'm generalizing, but as women, we tend to take everything on our own shoulders and just do it. But so true. Ask, the power of words. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll save you from losing that love of something that you find so much joy and passion in. And sometimes you don't recognize that you're losing it until it's already starting to go. Like you should just start feeling this, I don't feel like writing today. I think I'll go out and do something else today. I just don't have those ideas anymore. Like, I don't think what to write. Like it just kind of creeps up on you. And it's good to be able to
you're tired. Yeah.
And I'm tired and I don't want that. So that is what I would give that is what I'm taking my own advice I'm giving you, like moving forward. That's been like, this summer was a wake up call for me to be like, okay, you got to do things different. And I will.
Good for you.
So you're going to be writing again. You said you have some deadlines that you're going to have that are going to come up, or are you going to be able to like kind of finish those and start something new in the fall?
Yes. I don't know how it happened, but I have like 3 books due.
Your fans are cheering right now.
Our fans are cheering, and us writers are like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Yes. So the way that if I do everything the way I'm supposed to do it, by mid-November, I'm done writing as far as deadlines until next year. And then it's late next year. It's not even like early next year. So I'm like, okay.
Okay. So get your life organized.
I'm gonna spend that time getting my life organized and just, I have a couple of projects I want to work on my own. So
nice.
I'm hoping now this is the part I got really listen to myself, because I actually told myself do not write anything for like a good 2-3 weeks. Let me see. I don't know if I can really do that, but I want, because I have never gone that long without writing something. So
she's 2-3 weeks.
That's what I said. I've never done it. So I want to see. What happens when I actually don't write at all. I don't know.
Your brain is going to explode with ideas. You know that. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. Keep a pad. That's right. Keep a notepad next to you, because the ideas are just going to, that'd be great. That'll be great. But going on into this like new book of yours, how do you come up with your ideas? Like usually, is it a scene? Is it a name? Is it an idea?
That's like it really depends on the book, because sometimes I'm a big fan of looking at covers, because sometimes a cover will inspire. I've had covers I bought without the story. Like, people have, those pre-made covers or ideas. And I'm like, oh, I got an idea based on that cover. And then I did a whole series based on the cover of one book I bought. And then there was a second book in my head. That wasn't even the first book. I said, that's going to be the second book. So now I got to get that cover artist to draw me the remaining 3 books.
Love
That was
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
But it was like a fun way it stimulated me. Like I literally came up with a whole series based on this cover. I don't even know that cover artist that she knows that this is why I did that. Like why I went back to her and was like, hey, I'm doing a series on such and such. Based
Wow.
on that pre-made cover you sent out in the world.
That is such an honor, though. I mean, that must have been
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes, and it was a fun series to write. So covers is fun, but just life sometimes. Like I was sitting in a hotel. I remember this vividly, I guess, because I was sitting in a hotel in Dallas, and this guy walked past, and I was like, "Sorry."
That's great. I love
Story about a
that.
basketball player who was going against the Dallas Mavericks. That's how it kind of.
Love it. I love it. And then, okay, so you get your idea. Do you just like you sit down at the computer and start typing, or do you do like an outline or
I am not an outline person.
okay.
I am a pantser. I guess that's what you call it.
Yeah.
And not a plotter. Now, of course, with some of the books that I have written, because I'm a hybrid, like so the books that were more traditional, I had to give them an outline, of course,
Right.
and a synopsis of the whole book. That's the hardest thing for me to do, though. And then I would tell them, it's like, okay, this is a synopsis. It might change a little bit. It might. The overall theme of it will be the same, but I know how I write because I write out of order. Honestly, it drives people crazy and it drives myself. So because sometimes they're like, "Can we see the first, 8, 10 chapters?" I'm like, "I've done 15. They're just not in order."
That was funny. Oh my
So
God.
then I have to go back. I have to go back and like, okay, because I know what I want to write, but I write by my emotions or moods. So if that's like, again, that's how I cope. So if I am excited, then I want to write that scene that draws from that. Or if I am mad, then I know there's a scene and I already know there's going to be a conflict. So I'm gonna write that conflict scene while I'm actually feeling that anger. So that's why I write out of order. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been times like a novella I would write in order because it's short. So it's like, da-da-da. But when it's a longer novel, I often write out of order and then I go back. Now, I wouldn't recommend this for people because I know everybody can't write like, and I get it. Because then I got to go back and make sure it flows because I have written out of order.
Yeah.
But it's just it's just the best when it comes out of me like that. When I wrote my, This Side of Beautiful, it was like, some certain scenes I wrote first and then went back and I would send it to, the editor and the publisher, like, what do you think? And they're like, oh, this is going to be real good. Where's this going to go though?
Nice.
And I was like, it's going to get there. It's going to get there. And, luckily they worked with me and they just let me keep I just did the whole thing and then sent it to them because I knew I write over and they were like, do you have the first? And I said, I can give you the first 5 chapters. Beyond that,
Forget it.
I'm going to be all over the place. I already know that.
But that sounds like you've got a plot. It's all in your head. You're just not
It's in
writing
my
it
head.
down.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's super cool.
Just curious, was This Side of Beautiful something that was already written before you submitted to your publisher, or did you write it on proposal, just a kind of a brief?
I had an idea. It was an idea. That I presented, and they were like, "Well, can you give us, the first how many chapters?" I think they asked for 20K. Could I do at least 20K of it? And I was like, "Yeah." And then I sent it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, wait." Of course, they were like, "Okay, now you're starting off with Janae being a little too rough. She's a little too rough. I mean, she's a little too raw. Can we take back some of that rawness?" Because I literally was like, "I'm just writing how I feel. I'm writing how I know people who have mania and how derogatory they are to themselves." So that's how that first chapter is like, bam, bam. She's just hitting herself with all this negative talk. And they were, and that was enough. They were like, we want to see where this story goes.
And where did you get the idea for this book?
I have, without meaning to, because again, it just happens. I've written several music romance stories, and people think I'm a musician, but I'm not. They're like, you must play an instrument. Not at all.
Wow.
I did. I thought that,
Yeah.
it feels very authentic. Yeah.
I love music though, so I'm always like, I my headphones on before, so I was writing and listening to music as I write, and that's nothing that inspires me. I might hear a song and I'm like, oh, now I have to write a story based on that song. So It's always this music element in most of my stories that I did not intend. And when I finished Riff and Refrains, we kind of touched a little bit upon mental health illness, a little bit And so I wanted to explore it more. And I have other books that talk about, one of my characters had depression. One of my characters actually, committed suicide. So I've had books, but I never had like a main character that this was a big part of the focus, because I wanted to write a story that I felt people could relate to, but also just acknowledge that we all deal with some form of this.
Yeah.
To not keep mental illness as a distance or mental health diagnosis as that's you, that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of us.
Yeah.
And so that's what I wrote this story in mind, with these two flawed characters and how they still found love.
Nice.
In spite of their flaws, if you will, which we all deserve that. Like, regardless, like, none of us are perfect. So who says only you get to fall in love and only you get to have love?
Agreed.
Yeah, I love the way they're supporting each other in the story, being
They're each other's life jackets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. And they slowly are like peeling off the layers too, like little onions just kind of coming out and because I haven't been able to finish the book. I'm like only halfway through, and so no spoilers, anybody.
No spoilers.
No,
No
no spoilers. No
But I was
spoilers.
like falling in love with them, like with each, because at first they were really raw at the very beginning, and then they just slowly are like showing their inner selves. And I'm like falling in love with them as they fall in love with each other. So
that was the
the
hope
rest of
when
it.
I was writing it. I really wanted you to fall for Landon and Janae. Like, that was like, of any of my books, I wanted you to fall for these characters, because again, Landon is not my typical alpha. I write a lot of alpha males, like I think a lot of romance authors do, but he's not. He's a beta, but he's alpha about her.
Nice.
And and I wanted to write a different hero, so someone that women can, because again, we want this, take charge guy. And Landon is only that way when it comes to her. Other than that, he's like laid back, let everything just happen.
Love that. Love that. So when
Yes.
you create a couple like that, like, do you base it on people that you know, or are they totally made up?
I think a little bit of what I know. There's no one who's exactly this person, but I do take a little bit of what, like, there's this couple that I've worked with for a long time, and she deals with bipolar, and she has the most supportive husband that I can ever just imagine. Like, if she's going through a rough time, he will call me. He's like, can you just talk to her for me?
Wow.
Like, you can hear it in his voice, like he doesn't know what else to do. And they've been together for a long time. And so they inspired that whole notion of, somebody who really stands by you, who accepts, even though they argue and fuss, and she gets mad when he says, you need to take your meds. And she's like, he gotta stop telling me that. I said, I was like, but she knows he's not going anywhere, and vice versa. And so I wanted to have, a story of, this is the beginning. Like, the couple, they're already in the throes. They've been together a while, years when I met them. But this is a couple, Janae and Land, at the beginning of their journey together. And what is it like when both of you are dealing with different things? And how do you navigate who you are, your trials, without alienating that person, without making it hard for them to love you?
I love that.
So that's why, this book, is special to me, because I really want people to get the message. And people have been scared of this book. They're like, I'm scared to feel. You're going to feel all the feels. And guess what? It's okay.
I love
It's
that.
okay. It's okay.
I know it's hard because a lot of times, I just wanted something fluffy and I don't want to really sink into my feelings and think about things. And this book will make you think about a lot of things that are going on in your life. And yeah, I'm mentally preparing myself. It's the weekend now, so I can finally
dig in and finish it. But I feel like when you're a romance reader, I mean, like, you like the fluffy beach reads. But every once in a while, you want that, like, all the feels that's going to make you, like, think and feel and cry the whole bit. You need that. It's like, you do. You need, it's like the wash, like you just got to do it. And then you can go back to your fluffiness, but you got to get that one in, like.
Well, and that's what I felt last night, because I was like reading and then I had to go to work and I was like, oh, I work nights. And so like all night long, I'm like, what's going on? I want to, trying to go into the bathroom, kind of sneak a few times.
I feel you on that though. Yes.
Right.
It is. It's one of those where I get it, because I'm like that, just, in terms of, I won't say reading. I will say my reading is probably geared to more like how I write. So I do more, it's probably a little bit more serious, my story. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, I do have the fun, fluffy ones as well, where it's just, hey, I just want to sleep, comforting love story. I do write those. And love writing. I feel good when I write them. But I get it, because then there are times where I'm like, nah, this has to be a little more serious, just because we know relationships are not always fun and light and sun. There's good and bad times. And so, yeah, so if you read a tie, you know, I'll say this, you're going to get a message no matter which one you read, but some are going to be layered and others will be, you're pretty clear about what I'm trying to say. But I definitely feel you about how I am, even like if I just want something light and flow, especially because of the day I had working with people. And I'm like, I don't want to think. So I feel you now. I just want to let me just watch something that makes me laugh, a comedy. You know, like I don't like horrors because I have to be on edge the whole time. Like I want to just like be able to cover up and just watch, and it's like, I don't have to think that hard. So I get it when readers do say like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for your book, and I've heard that, and I'm like, whenever you are, read it though.
Yeah.
And you will enjoy it. You will love these characters.
No, it's like the palate cleanser. You need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely need that. But
You
before we move on, there's one thing that I wanted to ask you is like, once the reader has read your book, like they finished your book, they put it on the coffee table, what do you want them to either say or feel about it? Like, what's your...
That's a good one. I just want you to... I want the story to resonate with you, that these characters linger, that Janae and Landon, their friends, the Hollow Bones, the band, that it lingers with you about no matter what, we all deserve love and to be loved. And so don't get caught up in your flaws. Don't get caught up, I'm not good enough. I want people to feel like when they read, I am enough. I am enough. So that's what
very good.
I would say.
It is beautiful. I love that. And thank you for sharing that with us. And we are going to finish that book and talk about it for days to come. Me and Angie are going to be texting and going like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So like,
no, I'm just waiting for the ugly crying.
I know it's going to start. We all know it. It's okay. They come out. It's a romance. There is an HEA, right?
Yes.
So
yes. No, I will say that no matter what, it's still a romance. So there's a guarantee. So if you like, some people skipped ahead to the end. I had to because I wasn't sure. And I'm like,
Right. Yeah, because I think a lot of people they get afraid. I do. I know.
Yep.
I don't want it. I want HEA. I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
no. You're gonna. Yes, I'm a romantic at heart. My grandmother taught me that. She was my first love of romance, and then she just it poured it into me. So yes, you will have a happily ever after, or at least a happily for now. Yes.
All right. So can you tell everyone what you're working on now?
Okay. I do have, I'm saying it like that because it's like, I have a new release dropping September 2nd. It's a follow-up to Riffing Refrains, Resident Solace. And I love it. It's a story that takes place in Memphis. Again, it's a music romance, but not quite, because now we're dealing with a person who's not sure she wants to stay in the music business. She's now like exploring, thinking, is this really for me? It is a friends to lovers story. It is, sexy, steamy. It's more romance than I would say This Side of Beautiful and even Riffing Refrain. So it goes back to a little bit of just, a romance. There's definitely some stories about what it means and be in Memphis, with the civil rights movement and music and history of blues. So you get some of that in there, but it's definitely a love story. That's coming out September 2nd, Resident Solace. And currently finishing up a story called ZURI Blues that's going to be out in November, and that's a deadline I'm trying to make sure it's done. And I don't know when y'all going to put this out there, but hopefully
it'll be out by then. Hopefully
that they have it. Yes, that they have it in their hands, and they're not mad at me because I didn't get it to them. So yeah, so I'm excited about how the rest of this year is going to pan out.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of editing.
Right. They used to my eyes get big, like, yes.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I have coming out.
And so where can people find you if they're looking on the internet and they want to get to follow you? Where would they find you?
I am on IG, TikTok, and Facebook as Tiye or Tiye Love, which was my original pen name, but I dropped the love. And you can find me at TiyeLoveBooks.com. Nice. So TIYE. You can pretty much find me.
Sounds good.
So this is the part that is always hard. What'd you say?
This Side of Beautiful is being published by which?
Honey Blossom Press is the one that has published This Side of Beautiful, Riffing Refrains, and my upcoming one, Resident Solace.
Excellent. Perfect.
Okay. So this is the part I always dread. It's when I have to say goodbye. We have to kind of wrap it up and say thank you so much for coming on. No,
Yeah.
put it off as long as
No,
I
it
need.
was good. I enjoyed this. Y'all made it easy. Yes, I'm introverted at heart, so y'all did a good job of not showing that side of me. I'll
No,
say
you're
that.
It was
lovely.
a
We
fun
love you.
interview. We had so much fun.
Okay, well, you have to come again at some point, maybe next year when your next
Yes.
books are coming out, just so we can kind of get
Yes.
an
I
update
would
on
love
the
it.
books. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
we also just want to say thank you for coming on and being willing to share your story and let all the new writers kind of follow your journey and know what it takes. I mean, I know a lot of them may not realize that they can take their book and submit to a publishing house.
Yeah.
And without having an agent. So
Yes. If you look and read, they'll say when we will accept. Most of them don't, but there are some that will say we'll take unsolicited manuscripts. Yeah.
we actually have Keisha Menifee coming on, and she's going to be on later on after yours. She's going to be coming for an interview as well, so she can tell about Honey Blossom Press
Yes.
and yeah, just what we're doing with the some of the authors that are going to be coming on, and then you guys meet them as well, and the process of being published. So that's going to be fun. I think we're pretty excited about that as
Well,
well.
tell her I said hello.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to say goodbye, everyone. If you haven't liked, please like. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button that's going to pop up right here. And then if you haven't watched any of our other author interviews, please check one of the boxes that are going to pop up as well. And look in the description box and see the link for Tiye's book so you can grab it because, yeah, it's really good.
Thank you.